everybody. Welcome back to Cybersecurity Month with Samantha, Joe, and Ashu. So for week one, we talked about the different types of cybersecurity threats and what you can do to make sure that your company is prepared. Week two, Ashu had 5 simple tips for you. And this week, I'm super excited. He's going to discuss the human aspect of cybersecurity. It does not matter what you put into place if you're not teaching your employees how to be aware of threats. A couple weeks ago, we had one of our clients click on a phishing email, and as soon as she clicked on it and opened the link, it downloaded malware onto her computer. Because of the cybersecurity training that we had been doing, she was able to recognize that and contacted us, and we were able to separate the computer and isolate it and take care of it. But it still happened, and that's a risk that you have to be aware of. A couple weeks ago as well, we had a CEO who was contacted by what he thought was Apple support and gave his login credentials for his Apple computer that contained all of the financial records for his company. Again, he recognized that he maybe had made an error and contacted us, and we were able to lock down his important information and save his device. But again, it still happened. Training doesn't just stop at your front desk or your administrative assistants. It also needs to be given to your CEOs, your CTOs. The president of your company may not be aware that they're doing things that put you at risk. So today, Ashu's going to talk about how to account for that, how to really work on training those employees to make sure that they're not creating more risks after the hard work you're doing to secure your company. All right, Ashu, what do you have for us today?
All right, thank you, Samantha, and excited for our week 3 web series. Previous week, we 5 simple tips to protect your infrastructure against cybersecurity attacks. But no matter how many systems you put in place, you are only strong as your weakest link. You can put a shield door and a state-of-the-art security system in your office, and you may feel like you built a Fort Knox. But if your teammate leaves a back door open, what have you really done to stop the robber, right? And your team can be your weakest link. So today we are going to cover how do you reduce this security gap? How do you really account for it? There are a few simple things that you can do on that front as well. Thankfully, number one is just train the employees. And I don't mean pull them up in one of the team meetings that you do like once in a year, have a conversation about cybersecurity. That's not the thing. Don't do like a once in a blue moon approach. Cybersecurity and attackers and hackers and like scammers are on it every day. So you got to have something more of an ongoing program. And there are several companies out there that provide ongoing training program. If you need a recommendation for that, drop us a note to the email address at the end of this video. Thing 2 you can do is implement some policies. This might require a little bit more of an IT administrator help. So reach out to your IT administrator, or you can reach out to us. But essentially just put in policies in place where you can avoid employees leaving their computers unlocked. So some policies that you can put in place, and you can implement those systemically, where if anybody leaves their computers, without locking it, it auto logs the computer in 10 minutes so that, if the computer is unattended, nobody can steal it or get access to your data in there. Also, just make sure you're educating employees so that they don't keep their passwords as their names or simply as password 1. I know people laugh at that always whenever they hear that, but believe me, a lot of our clients did that. Just make the passwords a little bit more complex, simplest thing. Or even better, use a password generator like 1Pass or 1Password. Those are great. If you don't use them, highly encourage to use those. They have a capability to generate more complex passwords that you don't have to remember, and it can be just in that programs. And then finally, make sure your team is not using any shared passwords, because those shared passwords are the biggest threats and have their own way of like making into the dark web. All right. So that's on the implementing policies. The third one, which is kind of fun, is doing phishing simulations. Again, several programs and companies you can subscribe to that can help do phishing simulations. People feel like this can be a little bit too much, but actually these can be great fun team activity depending on how you approach it. You can create these phishing templates and send them to your teammates at different frequency, and they can be deceiving, and they can mimic brands like Apple, Best Buy, and they'll truly put your staff to a test and make great anecdotes during a team event. So, generally as people click on that, they became more and more aware and then start avoiding or start reading or looking for the signs for phishing scam. So it can be a really good fun building or team building activity as well. The last but not least is website browsing. Internet is great. Everybody's on internet doing something or the others. but also can be one of the easiest backdoor. Make sure you have a good antivirus program that also provides web protection. And a lot of people just see antivirus program as like, hey, it protects me from viruses on my computer or malware on my computer. But a lot of good antivirus programs also have a web protection add-in. So just make sure you go for a paid antivirus. And please, please, please stay away from one of those free antivirus. They are just making you feel good. Go for something that's paid and decent. You will get money's worth for that. Hopefully that was helpful.
Thank you, Ishu. That was awesome. All right, everybody, there you have it. How you account for the human aspect of preparing yourself for cybersecurity attacks. Don't forget that we do have the free vulnerability and pen testing the whole month of October. So if you guys want to sign up, just click the link below. And don't forget to tune in next week for Oh No, I've Been Hacked. We'll see you then.